What's going on YouTube? Kamikazevondoom here with another Division Heartland, Division 2, Division Universe video. Now shout out to the DoD, Disciples of Doom, and today's video we are going to update all of the news that we know about the Division Heartland, the Division Universe, and obviously the Division 2. More importantly, on the first two, because my last predictions are now false as of today, and that's why I'm making this video, because my last predictions were we were going to hear or see something by the end of September, and well, here we are, and we're still in the same boat. So it's time to update all of this news and refresh our memories, because now we're getting into that critical area of the timeline where things are either going to happen really fast or I don't know. But like it says in the thumbnail, who knows? So let's go ahead and recap everything that's going on with the Division Heartland, the Division Universe, and obviously the Division 2. Now don't forget to hit that thumbs up. Please support the video and support the channel by subscribing. We should hit 32,000 subscribers by today. So if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe and ring that notification bell. That way you get all of my notifications from my daily content. I usually do 1 or 2 videos every day with a stream at night. Now tonight's stream is going to be on the Division, and it's going to be survival PvP. So if you're interested in that or you want to join me, make sure you are on Xbox. Get on tonight. I'll probably be on around 8 o'clock Eastern time. So whatever time zone you're in, obviously do the math and plan accordingly. But alright, hit that thumbs up, support, and let's get into the video. Now while we talk about this, I'm going to be just roaming around in the open world getting some materials. Alright, let's activate the global event. So, reason I am making this video today is because my last prediction for everything was end of September. Now that it is end of September, we're going to have to reevaluate this case. So starting off from basically the beginning. So earlier this year, probably, just after the new year, we got news that the Division 2 was scheduled to be done with Title Update 12 last year. And it wasn't until that Ubisoft press conference that someone asked what's going on with the Division 2, and then they were like, yeah, well, we're going to give them 2021, 2022 content. And then everyone's like, what? They were going to end it? And then I guess it was kind of like a sigh of relief that they were going to do something new, but it was never really, I guess, planned for. So their development team had to start from scratch to give us new content for this year. So with that being said, we had a public announcement from the dev team saying that they will be working on content. It's going to give us a new game mode. We're going to get, some sort of balancing patch. That way it helps PvP. And that was basically the end of it. They told us as a timeline that we would get it by the end of the year 2021. And ever since then, the updates have been relatively the same, saying that we're going to get, the content by end of 2021. Now, with today's date in mind, it is the last day of September, meaning tomorrow is the first day of October. Now, with that being said, we only have 2 more months after this before it is 2022. Therefore, we are within 100 days of, it being 2022. So this is where it's getting into that critical timeline where we're going to get something really quick and without a big notice, it seems. Now, we all know that I've been talking to, the developers and Yannick about, state of the game and what's going on with, interacting with the community. And I promised you guys months ago that I would keep on them. I would make sure to keep asking them at least once every other week. That way we are making sure that they know we are waiting eagerly for any sort of news. Now, they have responded to me quite a few times over this last year in regards of, patches and quality of life and the state of the game and all of that. But it seems that the state of the game is not really coming back, or at least not this year. Obviously, with the way COVID's been going around the world and then the vaccines, people are just now starting to get back into work. And I just don't see the state of the game coming back anytime in the near future. Maybe next year they'll try to start it up fresh, or maybe, once they get closer to like a Division 3, they'll bring back state of the game. Obviously, they are not done with this franchise because we have an entire universe surrounded around this franchise. So best believe they're going to come out with a Division 3 because this is their flagship franchise now that it is a universe. We're going to be getting a mobile game set in the universe. We are going to be getting a movie set in this universe by a pretty big director with some pretty big actors on Netflix. So that's going to be a big event. Not only that, but we got the audio book a couple months ago that is set in this universe, and we are also getting a novel that is coming out within the next year, also set in this universe. So for all of those saying, this is dead and they're not going to do anything and there's no content, there's going to be content. It's guaranteed. Not only that, but the Division 3 is pretty much already in the books. And best believe we're going to hear something about that as soon as the movie is closer to release. Mark my words on that. Now, talking about state of the game is where I started with that conversation. Now, because there's no state of the game, we are not getting a lot of communication from the developers. That is why I keep hounding them on Twitter. Are we going to get ambassador programs for Heartland? Are we going to get a PTS for the new update for Division 2? Are we going to see anything on the mobile game anytime soon? This and that. And it's harder to get any sort of communication from them because they are not doing a state of the game. Now, yes, in the past we have had developers go on Reddit, go on Twitter, and reach out and try to give, their 2 cents. But obviously, the way Ubisoft is, and what we have heard from the directors, is that, Ubisoft has a pretty strict PR team, meaning public relations. And they can't really do a lot of things public without getting some sort of consequence in the end. We've seen that with basically every developer that's talked out on Twitter. They either have to delete their tweet, they either get moved to a different project right away, or they end up, having to say something else in a future tweet, talking, about something they shouldn't have said. So communication's been pretty bare bones due to the no state of the game. Now, with that being said, I guess it's a little harder to build hype when they're not doing a state of the game. And I doubt that they're going to end up doing any sort of trailer or release thing for it. So it's just really hard to gauge what we're going to get from them because they took away the one thing that really bridged that gap between the developers and the consumer. So us content creators are trying to fill that gap. We are trying to, get whatever thoughts and ideas you guys have and throw them to the developers and see, what we can get to stick and what we can't get to stick, what's in the cards and what's not in the cards. And I mean, there's several creators that have been doing this all year long. You've had Gamey Daddy talking about everything in and out of this game, development wise, marketing wise, business wise, the entire year. We've had Rogue Gold give us, his predictions, his outlook on what's going to happen with this timeline and what should happen with, the manhunts. We've had Epic Slayers giving us news updates and speculations on all these different things, and a lot of it is due to the lack of communication from these developers. Like, obviously, we heard from Yannick and Terry Spire that, hey guys, with us being directors, we're not the marketing people, we're not the public relations people. They can't just say whatever, we ask. We can't just say, hey, when's the new content? And they'd be like, oh yeah, Bob, the new content is next month on a Tuesday. They can't do that. They're going to get in trouble. So they have to wait for Ubisoft to officially release, either a public newsletter from the dev team, whether it be, whatever. They have to wait for them to give the green light to talk about it. So that is why we're still in this gray area. Now, what is going on at Ubisoft that could be keeping them from giving this green light? Right now, at the end of September, what is going on is right now Far Cry 6. That is their big thing right now. If you pull up Ubisoft or anything on Twitter or Google Ubisoft, you will see that Far Cry 6 comes out next week. So, in a, marketing world, if I am Ubisoft, I want to promote the crap out of Far Cry 6. Now, that comes out, next week, so the first week of October. So that gives the Division 2, the Division Heartland, a week or two to publicly announce what's going on their end. So my prediction right now is that as soon as Far Cry 6 launches, we are going to get some sort of news about the Division universe right thereafter. Whether it be the day after, whether it be the week after, something like that, because the way the timeline is if they wait a week or two after Far Cry 6, we are going to be within 6 weeks of the end of the year. So, with that, being said, they're not going to have that much time to build up the hype. Now, we all know that with Warlords of New York, they waited until a month out, and then they announced it, they built up the hype, and it was the biggest thing they had ever seen in the Division universe. Now, is that a smart tactic? It could be. I mean, it made them a lot of money, granted, and it also came with a lot of problems. Because it wasn't really publicly announced or publicly tested, Warlords of New York, if you guys remember, started out with some bugs. Now, saying that this new stuff is going to come with bugs, obviously, I don't know. I'm not a mind reader, nor am I a psychic. However, we have all seen that with the update we got last week, with them fixing bugs, it also came with bugs. So, assuming that if they are actually play testing this new game mode, this new patch, this new balancing, whatever they're doing for PvP, if they are actually testing it and they give it to us as a full final product, polished and shiny, ready to go, then I could see this being a huge money bank for the Division 2. Because there are so many of you, thousands of you, that are waiting eagerly for this new content. I know I get comments every single week from people saying, hey, I don't play the game anymore, but I watch your videos. I'm just sitting here waiting for new content to drop. And we get it. We all get it. So my guess is right after Far Cry 6 comes out, we are going to get something from the Division 2, the Division Heartland, and just within the Division universe as a whole. Now, looking at previous timelines, we have been wrong quite a bit. So they initially gave us like the whole Division Universe timeline back in, I think it was like April or May. I think it might have been May. So they came out with this whole timeline with the Division Universe. They announced Division Heartland, which I am stoked. I can't wait to play Heartland. But they told us that Division Heartland was going to come out, and then we were going to get the Division 2 additional content. Now, with that being said, that would mean within the next, 2 months, within the next 100 days, we are going to get the Division Heartland and the Division 2 content. Now, do I still believe that that timeline is active? Not really. Reason being is that if they wait till after Far Cry 6, we are looking at mid-October. That would mean that they would have to release Division Heartland by, I don't know, November, and then give us Division 2 content by December. Now, spacing those out 1 month apart, that's a smart marketing move, nor do I think they're going to actually do that. I think they're going to space each other out probably a few months or a couple months. Let's say 2 to 3. That being said, what happens to the timeline that we have back in May? Now, in that timeline, it showed that we were going to get the Division Heartland, then the Division 2 content, and then a novel. Now, we have already seen and read details about this novel. It is coming out beginning of next year, right on time. So that shows that the timeline was accurate. Now, with that being said, that's the novel. Now, looking at Division Heartland and the Division 2. So, Yannick has been saying, and he's been quoted of saying numerous times, that this new content from the Division 2 is, in fact, on track for end of 2021, meaning December. They have harped on that from the very beginning, and they have said that they have kept to their word, and they are still on track for end of 2021. So, that would mean that we would have to push Heartland out of the way. I highly doubt that we are going to get the Heartland standalone game in November, but if we did, I would be so happy. However, what I think is going to happen is they are going to give us the Division 2 end of, mid to end of December, and then they are going to wait and give us Heartland probably around the anniversary of the Division 2 and the Division. We all know that the Division and the Division 2, all of their yearly resets and content drops usually come in March. So, a betting man that I am, I would bet that we get the Division 2 content about December, because they're going to announce some sort of news by, mid to late October, and then release it in December. They'll build a little bit of hype, and boom, there you go. Make all that money. Now, this additional content, in my eyes, my opinion, I think it will be paid for. I think you'll have to pay something for it, whether it be $20, $30, I don't know. But I honestly think we're going to have to pay for it. Now, if we get a free update for this new game mode and we get Heartland free, that's going to be really big. And I think that would be a pleasant surprise. However, what I'm thinking is going to happen is we're going to get the Division 2 content in December. They're going to either announce it or show us something by mid to late October. And then we'll probably have to pay for it when it does come out in December. Now, as far as the Division Heartland, the alpha testing and the play testing and all that have been done months ago. I'm talking months ago. Early May, months ago. So with that being said, there has been zero news about the Division Heartland or any sort of additional playtesting after May. So, with that being said, I think they are polishing it up and they are doing some internal testing and tweaks. And with that, there might be a chance that it comes out in November, but I highly doubt it. I'm going to say it's not going to come out until next year, right around the Division Content Month drop in March. Okay. So with that, I think I have updated my timeline. I know it's the last day of September and I was wrong on my last prediction, but hopefully I'm right on this prediction. We are getting into the last 100 days of 2021 and we're supposed to have the content and all that dropped by end of 2021. So we're in that crucial time area where they're going to give us something. It's not ooh, the game's dead, we're never getting anything. It's nothing like that. Like, it's getting to the part where they're really about to say something. Because after Far Cry 6, their next big thing is like, what, Riders Republic? And that's in November, I believe. So that's it. Like, between Far Cry 6 and Riders Republic, I think we're going to get that Division 2 content and news. So look for some sort of news on the content and update for mid to late October, and then look for a December content drop, and then probably Heartland won't come out until early next year. Now, with that being said, Heartland's been slated for this quarter to release, and it has been said from numerous sources that it is ready to go for this quarter, meaning between September and December. So there is a chance that we might get Heartland next, month or whatever in November. So be ready for that, because they did end all that playtesting. They did have everything slated for this quarter to release, so they might just give us, in like the best. Alright, here's my dream. Okay. So my dream scenario, or scenario if you're nasty, is that we're going to get the Division Universe news drop in October. We'll get Heartland in November. Division 2 new game mode in December, and then March would be the start of the new manhunts. That is my opinion. That it would be perfect, because then that would stretch it out from March to March, all of the new seasons, so then we don't have to worry about it. That would give us from December to March to play this new game mode and have a lot of fun. And that would also give us all of that time to play the Division Heartland. So that would be my dream scenario from the Division universe. Now, is that going to happen? I'm saying slim to none. But if it does, I would be so happy. I don't know. But let me know in the comment section below what you think about this. What do you think about my predictions? Do you think we're going to get back to back, Heartland in November, Division 2 December? Or do you think it's going to be Division 2 in December and then Heartland around March? Let's discuss. Now, don't forget to hit that like, subscribe to the channel. We are hitting 32,000 subs probably by the end of today. So thank you so much for that ongoing support. But as a minimum, please hit that like, support the channel, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you all for stopping by. I hope you stay healthy and safe. I am Kamikazevondoom, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.